Hey guys, welcome back to the Small Time Critics podcast. I'm one third of the Small Time Critics. My name is Moe.
Kim.
Mohammed Hashi.
And guys, we have a very, very special episode today.
Special episode.
This is our first, I guess, say interview chat. You know what I mean? We're doing something different. We have a very special guest, actor. We met him at the Muslim International Film Festival, which was great. By the way, you can see our review for that. But yeah, I'm gonna let him introduce everything. I know Hashi and Kem got stuff prepared for this. Yeah, they got a lot of questions.
We're ready, we're prepared.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a fun chat. But we have Amro Mahmoud in the building.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
multi-hyphenate.
Yes,
of course.
Yes,
Actor,
thank you.
writer, extraordinaire.
Now, Amro, thank you for being here.
Thank
Pleasure.
Appreciate it so much. Yeah, so should we get into it? But before we get into it, just make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the videos are coming out. And yeah, any socials and stuff will be down in the description below. So go check them out. Guys, I'm going to let you take over.
Yay.
Here for hosting duties and I will chime in. But I know
Yeah.
you guys got some stuff prepared and Hashi's been excited about this one.
I've
So
been.
Hashi, kick it off, man.
I think for me, I've always thought that like acting is like magic, because like these people, they get these words and they just turn it into something completely different. Like there's so many things. There's like words on the page, like Luke, I'm your father, that an actor can then take and then turn into something that transcends, you know what I mean? All kind of like celluloid and sight and sound. So I think what I want to ask you is, what got you into acting? What was the inspiration behind that, the genesis?
Great first question.
I have
think-
been practicing, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
In the mirror.
I think ultimately was I kind of had to. I kind of felt like I needed to act. I felt like I couldn't not act.
Yeah.
I first acted properly at school.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like at home with my cousins and stuff on weekends.
Yeah.
But the year 6 school musical, we did like a traditional musical at my junior school. And I got up, auditioned, sang in front of everyone. Nobody like expected that. Then I got a good part, did the thing. It was went really well. And then, just from there, really. It was like the acting bug was there.
This is in Brighton.
Yeah. So this was, I was probably 10.
Yeah.
So like 16, 17 years ago.
So
Yeah.
my question is, did you, at that moment, did you know you wanted to do this?
No, not to this level.
Okay.
Because now I'm like doing it almost full time.
Yeah.
But like it's my career now, basically.
Yeah.
But when I started, I had lots of other interests as well. But acting was a thing, like, maybe I could pursue that.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun doing acting.
And because you was good at it. Not
Yeah.
fair.
I'd like to think so.
It helps.
I'd like to think so, hopefully. Yeah.
For me, like obviously questions that I've always wanted to like ask like an actor is, in what sort of stage in the process do you, like, say for instance, we could speak on your role in Halo.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously Halo, it's a Paramount production. In a production like that, at what stage do you look at the sort of the script, dialogue, and think, okay, I need to now take this role on this character and make it somewhat your own? How does that process work, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I think it might vary slightly per project.
Yeah.
It can be slightly different, which is the beauty of this industry, that no project is
The same.
identical as the
Yeah.
next one. But for Halo specifically, it was more, we do the audition, and when you get the audition, you get sent scenes.
Okay.
And when you do this, and it's sort of like, obviously it's all NDA, so you can't say
Yeah.
I'm auditioning for Halo and stuff. But so I get the scenes.
Yeah.
And fortunately on this, my younger brother helped me out.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So I compensated him well with it. It's nice to have someone to read in with. That's another thing, because usually it's over Zoom.
Yeah.
But literally, I read the scenes I've been given. The more big scope the project is, the less likely you are to get the episode or the rest of the script until you're in the project. And even I just finished a project now where I didn't see the actual script until we were at the read-through.
Oh.
And even then, they changed it after that.
So you're given sides, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you use those, and you kind of base the character on that. So just to kind of add on to Kim's question, like, just speak a bit more on kind of like research and kind of like, is there any kind of like things that you do outside of just reading the script and kind of memorizing the words and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Obviously, you used your brother.
Yeah.
Was it because he played Halo kind of thing, or is it?
He
just
hasn't
because-
played it. I've
Okay.
got a lot of friends who have played Halo. I've not really played it. Maybe once. I was like, oh, this is too hard for me. And then I gave
I
up.
haven't played it either, to be honest.
But Halo's like the OG
Yeah.
game for any
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in like proper gamers.
Yeah.
But I'll read about the show if it's a thing that's already out.
Yeah.
I'll read about the source material. So in Halo's case, I'll watch videos on the game.
Yeah.
If I can find the character
Mm-hmm.
that I'm playing,
Yeah.
I'll find them.
Fair.
But if it's not Halo, it's even on like the real world, even with other projects,
Mm.
it's I will look for as much information to build a profile about that character, alongside analyzing the scene and the text. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Just-
example, if you're playing a scientist or a doctor
Yeah.
or a cowboy, would you go kind of sort out to kind of find the real life equivalent of that and question them and kind
Absolutely.
of maybe shadow them and stuff like that?
Absolutely. If there's enough time,
Yeah.
I'd do that
Yeah.
for sure. Because sometimes it's a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if a role is you're only filming for a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
I still want to do it justice.
Of
I'm not
course,
someone
of
who,
course.
if I have a day of filming, or if I have 4 days of filming, or 4 months of filming, I'll probably put the same level of work in.
Yeah.
Not everyone may do that, but I like to do that because I care
Yeah.
about how I do my work. Like how you do everything is how you do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
But I'll probably have pretty much any type of item of clothing
Yeah.
at home for an audition. So I'll
Yeah.
try and dress the part as
Okay.
close as possible. And I'll learn mannerisms,
Yeah.
accents, because obviously in Halo,
Yeah.
I actually was auditioning with my own accent.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
And then we had a dialect coach ask me, I had like a dialect
yeah.
session,
Yeah.
can you do an American accent? And I said, yeah.
What's that like? Dialect coach? Like, is it tough to kind of like? It must be hard,
To
isn't
To
it?
enunciate words.
Yeah,
in a whole
change
different
com-
way,
accents
which is
completely.
And obviously, depending on how long you have.
Yeah.
And like I know
Yeah, that's
us,
true.
we like kind of grew up kind of with American TV shows and
Yeah.
movies we watch and stuff like that. So I guess for British people, it's not always as hard. I guess because you've got a lot of British actors
But
that
then
do
there's,
kind of
there's different
switch
regional
over.
accents similar to
Yeah.
the UK.
Right.
That's very
Think of
true.
the South and
Yeah.
think of
That's very
like
true.
Boston, even in the tri-state area, like
Yeah,
the accent between someone from Philadelphia is
It's all
different to
different.
someone from Boston,
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
that's
Maine,
very true.
yeah.
stuff like that. So how does that work?
You're right. That's a good point. There's a
Yeah.
lot of cultural and popular experience that I would have absorbed
Sure.
over time.
Yeah,
And then drama school training can include a part of it is all accents, speak like this, do general American.
Mm.
There's Californian, and then honestly, it's just prep.
Yeah.
right.
It's like if I couldn't speak in an Italian accent,
Yeah.
I'd spend a week just practicing the Italian accent.
Sure.
I'd get in touch with anyone that I know is Italian, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, over Zoom or on a phone call, or if I'm sneaky, I might send them a line and maybe like crop some things out so they don't know what's
Yeah, of
actually
course.
happening. And and then they might send me back a version of what's written,
Yeah.
and I'll be on YouTube learning things.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Fair. The reason why I asked is because there was an interview with Kingsley Benedict when he did the Bob Marley one, and he said he had to live Bob Marley. He had to be the
Yeah.
embodiment of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Just the accent alone, and obviously being a Jamaican, like stuff like that. If I hear bad accent, I call it out. We was just recently discussing the TV series The Boys, and
Okay.
we spoke on
Carl Urban.
Carl
Urban,
Urban,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
he has the worst British accent ever. But obviously, it may be by design. It may be by design,
Yeah.
but have you ever gone through a process where the accent that you're asked to use or sort of play, it just doesn't come, it doesn't seem good enough, and you say, I'm going to back out of that, or maybe could we sort of pivot or adjust in regards to sort of accent? Have you ever had something
Amazingly, I've not backed out of anything yet.
Nice,
Amazing.
nice.
Though I will say, probably every actor, even if they look really cool on the surface, will have a lot of underlying thoughts of it's not about can they do it, can they do what they've been asked to do justice.
Yes.
If I'm playing an American character on a massive American show, I want to be able to ensure that I'm doing it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So specifically with Halo, it was fine because
Yeah.
the coach then said, look, we've got a lot of British actors or
Mhm.
British voices, and we think you'll be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
try it. We practiced it, and then I'm like practicing it between filming and like rehearsing and stunt training and all these things. And then eventually I'm like, oh, it's good. It's good. I'll be all right. Yeah. And if it's terrible, they'll just tell me.
I guess the more you do it, the better you get it. You get it as well. No,
I try not to judge myself. Like one of the principles of my training were just like no judgment of myself or others. And we allow ourselves to perform well as opposed to I have to perform well.
Yeah.
Because then that just like allows me to.
Yeah.
No,
as opposed to I've got to do well.
But at the same time, imagine you are hard on yourself in terms of like making sure you're doing a perfect performance, right? Yeah. There's like a balance, isn't there? Before like not judging yourself and also trying to not be too.
That's a great point.
But that would be down to work ethic, as you said. You've never backed out of a role. So again, I think that would be down to work ethic. Not willing to sort of say no to something when you want to try. Fair.
As someone who puts themselves out there all the time, how do you kind of like deal with rejection? Because obviously, like, there's plenty of actors who are in a casting.
I sit in the corner and I cry.
Fair.
I don't.
I'll do
it. You know, in truth, there's a lot of rejection in this industry.
Yes,
I think there's too much rejection in this industry, and even like what's more challenging than the rejection is a lack of communication.
Yes.
I might have
and a lack of feedback.
Like I might have poured my soul into 3-4 days for an audition and done a really great job, and I just don't hear anything.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You don't even hear a no, you mean?
Sometimes you don't even hear a no.
Wow. Really?
That,
you don't even hear a
that could even hurt more than the no itself.
Finding out that someone else is doing a role after seeing it happening.
Yeah, that's... I try not to get too attached to the final outcome. I used to be very attached to the final outcome. I think before I went to drama school, I was very, very attached. And that's what drove me.
Yeah.
That's what allowed me to be so driven and so focused and work so hard to get to where I am today. Yeah. But now I'm like, it's cool. Like, if I don't get the role, I don't get the role. Because if I don't get that role, I'll get another role.
Another door will open.
And like, even recently, I just finished on something, and because I got that because I didn't get something else that I really, really wanted. But this thing is like going to be really exciting.
Nice.
I think that's a great segue into my next question. What is the key to your success? And I think it's, as you said, it could be like the determination and not taking no for
positivity.
Yeah, I think letting go, really. I know that sounds very philosophical, but I really mean that. Like just letting go, going with the flow of life, trying not to live too far in the future and also not in the past.
Do you have any like sort of within your close network or even within the industry? Do you have any inspirations? Like,
do I have any inspiration? I think there's a lot of inspiration. I don't really pinpoint it to particular people. I think I gain a lot of inspiration from a lot of things. Like even just coming from Shepherd's Bush today on the bus. Like I saw this gentleman just sat there and I was like, that's really interesting. Fascinated, just observing, just being curious about the world. But my parents, absolutely. I think maybe I don't tell them that enough. And I'm quite like strict on myself because they've raised me in a really strict but good fashion. So not overly done. But I think my parents and friends, and even like what you guys are doing here, this is like really brave.
I really appreciate it.
I really mean that.
Thank you.
So this is like awesome. So just seeing things like this, and I honestly think like you don't have to be a star to be inspirational. It's not when you become the A-list or the lead of a Marvel franchise at which you have an impact. Like we're having a conversation. There's 5 of us here. That means something, and then people will be listening in.
100%. 100%. Can I just ask, like, is there anything like off your inspiration question? Is there like you obviously like you said you did the musical in year 6 and whatnot. Is there like a show or a movie or anything you watched when you were a kid or something and you were like, wow, I wanna do that? Do you know what I mean?
Man, anime. I can't really be in it, like literally, but anime was great. But if there's like an actual show,
you can voice adaptations.
I think Lost. If I was in Lost, I'd be mind blown.
Nice.
Because that was the first. Because my grandmother, who's now passed away about a year ago now, but thank you. But when I was a kid and we'd go to her house at the weekend and I'd like watch Lost. Maybe I shouldn't have been watching Lost, but like it came on, and that was the first TV show that I remember. Like, wow, like this is crazy. People do this, like this is mega.
Monster,
and that was it. And I couldn't really understand it. So when I was back doing my business degree before I went to acting school, I was just watching episodes of Lost, like all the seasons, and I was like, I remember this now. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, Lost is
So yeah, Lost.
fantastic.
I mean, it's obviously finished,
yeah.
but
In fact, quick question:
go for it.
are you happy how it ended?
Here we go.
No, this is our bag now. Come on.
I'm a bit sad of how it ended.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone like in the end like don't want to put spoilers out, but it's sad. I was a bit mixed.
Yeah.
I was a bit mixed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to feel. There was so much emotion in that
Yeah.
show and so much confusion. And obviously, Lost is a very popular show culture-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like created all the chat rooms and
Yeah.
people started discussing
Yeah.
shows after. But I don't know how I feel.
think
actually
more
don't have any.
underwhelming.
I'm just
It
yeah.
It
that's
started off
probably
so
it.
incredibly though, isn't it?
It was amazing.
Too well.
Yeah.
That ending of season 1 with the light at the end of it,
Yeah.
in the container that comes
Yeah.
with the outro.
Yeah.
But then
I was like,
okay, I
that's
don't
great.
want to start any problems because obviously Game of Thrones. I don't want to start any problems.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to start any problems. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
Do you know what? I haven't. I actually haven't.
You know, you was up here. You just
Yeah.
a little bit out, but it's fine. It's fine.
There's a reason though. I think that there's this many shows that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
wrong
has
way
to be
around.
there.
There's this many shows
And this
Yeah.
much time.
and there's this much time.
Yeah.
Amro,
Yeah.
there's so much content.
No, I'm not going to say too much.
It's
I'm in the
insane though. It's a
industry.
lot.
There's so much content.
Yeah, it's
You
a
could
lot.
sit there and you could watch every show you want to watch and you still won't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You still
Yeah.
won't
By
finish
the
it.
way,
Yeah.
you mentioned something earlier about a business degree.
Oh yeah.
So tell me about your time in academia, so to speak.
Yeah, so I before I followed the path of acting fully and chose to commit to it, I was doing a business degree at the University of Sussex.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
3 years there. In my second year, I did a 6-month exchange in Germany. Hardest 6 months of my life.
Oh, fair.
Oh gosh.
Is that what told you that you need to live a creative life?
Possibly.
Where in
It
Germany
could-
were you?
Mannheim.
Okay.
So Mannheim has the top business school in
Cool,
Germany.
okay,
So I
yeah.
went there, not studying in German. It was all in English.
Mm.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And there was many great things about Germany.
Yeah.
I just think academically it was really challenging, purely because I just had no time to do anything. I would literally wake up, study, and then like half an hour at the end of the day, I might watch the football highlights.
Goodness.
I might like watch an episode of something,
Yeah.
maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I was just like
working
in that
Crazy.
zone.
Yeah. You sort of wanted to
And that was-
detach from that.
Yeah.
And that was how long you said? 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. So okay, so off that, I just want to ask because I had this question in my head earlier. So you did that, and then obviously you went to the path of trying to do the acting. How was it like with support for you? Like, did you have the support from like family and friends and stuff like that? Like, I know you said your brother helps you sometimes, like especially
Yeah.
with the Halo thing with the auditions and things like that. Did you have like the support of your family? Because I know there's probably people that out there that want to be actors that probably are discouraged because they don't have the support of their parents or their brothers, sisters, or whoever it is. How was it for you?
Great question.
Yeah.
I really mean that. I have a set of principles.
Yeah.
And in order to answer that question, I'll have to go back in my mind and think just for a moment. So basically, my parents, as any parents would do, I think most parents would think if an actor is going in, or someone is going into acting, they might go down the road of perhaps doing roles that may not be aligned with their cultural values, religious
Beliefs,
values,
yeah.
beliefs,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
kind of things,
Yep.
which absolutely is very fair and understandable.
Yeah.
So I then agreed with my parents that I'll finish my degree and I'll train on the side,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I was like part-time classes, doing plays at university,
Yeah.
join the drama society, all these things, and then I'll just have a set of principles and rules that like a role, if it includes X, Y, Z, I'm not going to do it. I'll ask for it to be changed,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to walk away from stuff.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, that's a little bit overwhelming for a young man trying to
Yeah.
navigate their way through life
Yeah.
and figure these things out. But ultimately, I've got a set of principles. I've got a great team around me, a good group of people that I can ask when a role comes in and I'm like, this comes up in the role.
Yeah.
How should I go about it? And I
Yeah.
get opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not making the decision for me, but it's like getting valued opinions. I'm
Yeah.
getting informed from the right people.
Yeah.
Doing this could lead to this, and doing this could also lead to this.
Yeah.
And so that is there now, and that had taken time to build up. But ultimately, to precisely answer your question, I think initially there was some pushback.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's what drove me in a way. Like I have to show my parents and the people that care about me that I can do this and I can do it well, and I can do it in a way that's not going to harm anyone.
Yeah.
And that takes time.
And make
That
them
takes
proud
time.
as well.
Yeah. So now I think now like when Halo was like on the buses,
Yeah.
and my dad's like, oh yeah, my son's in that.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was nice.
I have to say, I really admire that, man. Just the fact
Thank
that
you.
like you have principles, just so that, because I know a lot of people compromise themselves and their beliefs and things like that. So the fact that you said that, I really do admire that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, that is powerful.
And the industry's changing for the better.
Yeah.
And having the right team is very useful as well. So
Yeah.
it's not just me, like my agents, my publicists, my
Yeah.
close friends, who are some of them also very, very good creatives.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah.
Good people out there.
Oh, fair.
Sick.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Obviously, on the back of that, on the back of the whole sort of, the reason why I keep on bringing up Halo, because I actually want to know in regards to sort of like, what sort of preparation in regards to like the physical aspect of it, like training stuff like that. I've always wanted to understand, because there's a lot of like say fight scenes, shoot scenes, action scenes in movies. How does that process work for someone like yourself? Because as you said, it could be different for everyone else.
Correct.
If you've accepted a role that is very sort of action or it requires a lot of physical sort of physicality within the role, like how do you do you like prep for it physically, mentally? How do you do that?
Well, it depends. So there's a role where I smoke a lot of herbal cigarettes, right? Herbal is in like the flower ones, so like fake tobacco, which is what they use on sets.
Yeah.
So for a while I was thinking, I don't smoke. So what am I going to do? So I didn't practice. So I had to turn up on set and they were giving me these herbal cigarettes. So between the first few takes, I was like asking questions, figuring things out, maybe watching online. But in terms of actual questions about physicality, for Halo we did stunt training. And there was a lot of prosthetics involved.
Okay.
I think that's the challenge of acting now, acting on screen. It's not purely the acting itself. It's, can you as an actor navigate your way through the major mechanisms of everything to do with making the project? Because it's like I'm in this massive like prosthetic suit and I can't really move and I can't go to the toilet for 5 hours and
That's
You're
crazy.
hot.
and it's like and it's like you just got to get through it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I'm loving it, man. Like,
Determination,
if I need the
man.
toilet, I'm not going to say anything. Because if I do, then they'll be like, all right, let's move on. Just having a good time.
Do you ever get that where, like, obviously you don't want to jeopardize a role or you don't want to jeopardize a situation, so you like, you know what, you just endure?
I think so, to some extent. Because sometimes I always used to be very focused with the fact that pain is like temporary. So if I like need the loo and I need to hold it for 2 hours, I'll just like put that to the back of my mind, because I know that it can like, I'm in a position where what I'm doing right now is going to be really useful for my career. So if I can hold it for 2 hours, that's fine.
You know, this is really opening my eyes to like just the process of an act, because a lot of people will look at actors and thinking, oh, you lot's got it so easy. It must,
for a living.
Well, like there's so many facets to acting. It's not just reading a script, and it's not just sort of following directions. As you say, you're in a suit for like 4 hours. You have to do all these sort of aspects of being in a character or being in a role.
Also to add to that, you have to be a great listener. You have to be a great listener in terms of like when you're delivering dialogue, and then once it's coming back to you, you've got to be able to listen, and then when the camera's on you, seem as though you're genuinely listening as well. Because sometimes you can tell when an actor is waiting, like to say their line.
You guys will know because you watch a lot of stuff, so you'll absolutely be able to tell. You're like, they're not acting right now. They're, just like, they're saying.
No, we have our issues with a lot of sort of actors. But again, it's great to sort of have some sort of insight from someone like yourself. Yeah, because there's so many stuff that people like ourselves, we're very critical of actors, but to really understand the process and what they're going through is like, okay, it might sort of open our eyes to like, okay, it's not that easy. As obviously like everybody does. Oh, they see a footballer do something really rubbish. Like, that should have been. We don't know until we're doing it. So I say it's a great insight, even for everybody, even watching, like just understanding processes. And it's not just easy, because like trying to read lines and you need to go to the toilet, like it's in the back of your mind, or you're trying to do something like me, even just sitting down, holding myself, and I'm moving too much. I'm like, oh my God, I can't move too much. So imagine having to do that and waiting for.
Even the little things, like you mentioned, like the smoking the herbal cigarettes thing. Like sometimes you can tell when a person has smoked or has smoked by the way they hold the cigarette, or the way they do it and stuff like that. Like I always think about like Tommy Shelby, Cillian Murphy, and Peaky Blinders, and he does this thing where he kind of like he puts a cigarette and he goes like that to moisten the tip a little bit, and then he sparks. I'm like, just that little like creative thing that he adds to it is just like, I feel like that's so like, do you know what I mean? Like it, I can see it and I'm like, I know what he's trying to do. Do you know what I mean? I think it's like pretty incredible. So like when you're saying that you're watching videos to see like how they're doing or whatever it is, I'm like, yeah, that's
we do what we can. I think it's there's got to be like a clear point to share that an actor can't know everything.
Yeah,
because you can live your own life for 100 years, and there's still more to learn.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we're trying to learn how to live as other people as best as possible. That's and sometimes there's directors' choices, sometimes there's artistic choices, sometimes the producers might want something a certain way. And it's not that it's right or wrong. It's just that's what they want, and that's the interpretation that they want performed. Yeah. And the actor's job is just to be that vessel. Yeah. You kind of got to be moldable to what they need. To be able to follow the direction as best as possible.
Speaking of direction, because actors want to be kind of like directed in different ways. Some directors, some actors want a director to say, okay, I want you to do this, this, and this, or give me this at like level 10 instead of level 3 or something like that. Or there are some actors who want to kind of understand what the motivation is for what they're doing and stuff like that. So where are you on that kind of spectrum in terms of how would you want your director to communicate with you on set?
I like lots of communication, but also precise, like communicate, so frequent but precise. So maybe between a take, say, do this like that, or add a little bit more. Positive feedback is good, but in our industry it tends to be no feedback is good feedback. That's how it is. So it's like if the director hasn't told you something between takes, you did it great. Sometimes it does vary. So the recent job I just finished, the director is great, and I almost spilled it, but she,
hey, we're here for
I've got to be really careful. But she's really great, and she was like, "Great, we've got it in the can, and we can move on, even if you've done one take." And if she liked it, she'd be like, "Let's move on."
Fair.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm here for the tea. Yeah. Is there any director that you've worked with and you're like,
any director that I've worked with,
and you're like, I can't work with someone like this. No names. Maybe projects.
Absolutely. But I think that's probably more so coming up a little bit earlier in my career.
Yeah. You're not going to gel with everyone as well.
Yeah, that's very true. That's another thing. Yeah. That's a really important point that you said there. The fact that you can be professional, but not everyone's going to be like your friend.
Right. Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be on your side. Some people have got their own agendas and egos, and that's like people are people. Yeah. People will always be people. So just got to do what you can. But things are getting better. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like speak on that, because
a lot of student films.
Yeah.
A lot of student films.
Yeah.
Some are really great. Yeah. Some are like, you're never going to see me ever again.
Yeah.
Once I leave that door, I'm gone.
Never again. That's it. But just speak. Obviously, you mentioned earlier about the industry is changing in a positive way. Just speak on that a bit more.
Yeah. I think industry practices. So now if an actor needs the loo, that will be factored in.
Okay.
If you've been standing around, or like recent job, I'm like wearing various shoes, and maybe they were not as comfortable as you'd like them to be, right? So I share that, and then they're working around that. They're trying to figure solutions, whether it's blister plasters, whether it's we need to heat the shoe up with a blow dryer so it softens and do all these things. Whatever it is, we're always trying to make sure that the actor is comfortable so that they can do their job. Yeah. Because just going back to the point of preparation as well, it's like you guys will see the final product, but you will not have seen the months of prep or the months of thinking about this and trying this and discussing this and doing all these things and the rehearsal and all these things. And if you go and you watch a play, it's like they got to get it right or it's not right. Yeah. But if there's another 99 performances, it could have been perfect. Yeah. And then people will watch and judge the performance they've seen. Yeah. So you got to let go. And you just got to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I want to ask again. You don't have to answer.
Mhm.
Is there, again, I'm here for it.
You want
I'm
all
here
the
for
tea?
it. I'm here for it. Is there any roles that you've not got that someone else got, and you was like, you know what, I'm a bit bitter about that. And if you could give us a name of that
No.
project, you don't have to.
You don't have to give it a
I'm
name.
just asking.
This guy.
Hey, I'm here for it.
To some extent, no. But in truth, I'd say, yeah, I have been a little bit upset that I haven't got something. Not necessarily jealous.
No,
I've done a lot of work on myself over the years to just understand, like, what it means to be jealous, what it means to be angry, what it means to be happy, and like have true fulfillment. And in all honesty, yeah, sometimes I do get sad. There was a role on The Crown that I didn't get,
okay.
which I wanted a lot. The funny thing is, it was like at the end of drama school,
Okay.
and it would have been like a really awesome deal to get.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think it's probably because of the accent I couldn't pull off as well as someone else would be able
I
to.
think I know who it is. I think I know the character. I'll tell you.
Yeah?
I think I know the character.
But this is like a common thing. So sometimes I'll really want a role, but maybe someone might have a larger following or be an established actor or someone who's much older. Some of these people are even my friends, by the way.
Yeah.
Like people I've texted like in the last few weeks, for example.
I guess there's an element of you being happy for them as well. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it always goes back to like when one door closes, another door will
No, of
open. Like
course.
I really believe in that.
I'd say,
But yeah, there's roles that I really wanted and haven't got, and there may be reasons for that. But
Yeah.
then other times it's like, I've gone up for a role, it'll be really great. It's like a big American project, and if I get it, it's like guest star, and it's really
Yeah.
awesome with like X and X A-list actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to think about all that stuff, by the way, like
Yeah.
A-list actor. I know I've said it, I just don't think about it too
Yeah.
much. And they'll come back and they'll say, oh, it was really good, but we wanted you to audition for a different part, and you
Yeah.
audition for a different part, and then you don't get that part. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, I could have done better.
Yeah.
Have
I
you
know
ever-
I could have done better than that.
Have you ever been cut out a role where you've done the whole process, you acted it, and then obviously for creative
Yeah.
choices they've cut you
Yeah,
out for
yeah, that's happened. That's happened.
You still get paid, right?
Yeah,
do they tell you, or it just
not
happens?
really.
That's
That happens a
bad.
lot in the industry, though,
It's
It's
doesn't
quite
it?
sad when that happens, because and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people may measure your success as an actor from when you've appeared in a project, and then you may have had to have kept a role quiet for about a year,
Yeah.
and then it comes out and you're watching it and you're like, what?
Yeah.
They cut me?
Yeah, that must
I'm
hurt.
like,
That must
it's
really
sad.
hurt.
I don't react too much to it, but it's sad. But
Yeah, recently happened
It's
to
okay.
recently happened to Tim Blake Nelson on June Part 2. He was,
Oh, wow.
he was in a prominent part of the he was a prominent role, and his whole role got cut out.
Cut out.
that's so sad.
What was that guy? Sorry, what was that guy? He in the Acolyte, the stranger. What's his name?
Manny Jacinto.
Manager. So he was in Top Gun.
Jacinto.
He was
Yes, he
in
was
Top
in
Gun.
Top Gun.
And
He
he
was.
had he had like dialogue and
That's
everything, and
true.
they completely cut him out.
And they
Yeah.
come out, yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Frank Grillo?
Yes.
You know he was in Minority Report for like
What?
6 months of
No
filming.
way.
I think it was 6
That
months
is
of filming.
crazy.
And he's only in the film for like 2 scenes, and he doesn't even speak. You just see him for like a frame, and he's just in the background.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a really great story
He
that
was
he
young
talks
too.
about how him, Spielberg and Tom Cruise, and
Yeah.
I think someone else, he took him. Was it Spielberg took them in his private jet to
Yeah.
this event, and Frank was like, "Yo, I've made it, man! Like I am the hot stuff, man." He was like, "Life is set."
Yeah.
And then he watches the film. He takes his mum to the premiere, and he said, after seeing it, he had this sinking feeling in his stomach.
Oh.
I think at least
This happens. What's the name of the lead actress in 13 Reasons Why?
Oh, the
Australian girl.
Cath-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Catherine.
Yeah.
You know her, man.
She's
Catherine Langford. Langford.
yeah, she was in the second Avengers.
No way.
No,
She
she
was
yes,
the
she's
Infinity. Infinity War,
she's
and she got
Iron Man's
completely
daughter
cut.
grown up.
They filmed all the scenes,
Yeah.
completely cut. Not a
Yeah.
single frame. She's in the project.
You know,
Imagine doing that, and they just
Yeah.
don't tell you anything, and you turn up, and
But sometimes I'll tell you. I think the Russo brothers told her, and we're like,
Okay.
"Look, we don't think it makes sense."
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're just
yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
see that. I think
But
that would be
that's-
okay to let
tell me
somebody
would
know.
be yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
fine.
when this happened to me on a project, which I won't say, because then I might be bashing the project.
No,
too
that's
much.
fine.
But because it's a really awesome project,
Yeah.
and I've like worked with people, and I've got friends who are on that project, so I won't say. But sometimes it can happen
Mhm.
where they may tell your agents.
Okay.
But my agents now were telling me that years ago they would definitely tell you.
Yeah.
They would definitely tell you if you're going to be cut.
Yeah.
so that you're aware,
Yeah.
so that you don't like have this feeling of like gathering everyone.
Yeah.
This happened to me, and we were on holiday in
Oh my
Egypt,
Gosh.
and I this was like would have been the first time me appearing on TV,
Yeah.
and then I gathered my family, and there was maybe like 10 of us where we were staying, and I watched the thing on the various streaming service, and I just wasn't there.
Oh.
Or like they saw me, but like my scene wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because it was a shorter episode, they were just
Yeah.
like cutting lots of stuff.
In that moment, do you feel in yourself that you want to explain or trying to justify? Because
Yeah.
you don't want
Yeah.
you don't want your family to sort of have a negative sort of outlook on the project when you believe the project is good.
Yeah.
But do you feel like in that moment, do you feel like you need to maybe explain
Yeah, absolutely.
for non people
Absolutely.
people who are not in the industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can
Yeah,
imagine.
it's sad. It's something you have to deal with. But over time, once you've appeared, like now I've appeared in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's like quite big budget
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and some of the new stuff's also big budget stuff. And when it comes out, will be really awesome. And then also that other thing that there's this other thing happening, and
Yeah.
that's like very on and off filming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so these things, when they come out, it'll be great.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll be filming something today, and it will come out start of 2026.
So Hash, before I know you want to ask her, just on the back of all of that, obviously, as someone, as a creative person, as you say, a creative person as well,
Yeah.
when stuff like that happens, are you more understanding than somebody who doesn't write?
Dude, absolutely. It's like I was always thinking I did so well in that audition. Why didn't you cast me?
Yeah.
And now I'm writing my own TV show,
Yeah.
and I'm like thinking of people to play the parts, and it's not about whether they're good actors or not,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about the people who look, and I know will be able to embody that character.
Yeah.
Now I may be proven wrong, and I'm sure there'll be casting directors and producers and people I work with, and will say, give this person a shot,
Mhm.
and then I'll bring them in the room, or they'll do an audition tape, and I'll watch the tape, and I'll think, you know what, actually that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not good as in the acting, because everyone who will get the audition will pretty much be able to act.
Yeah.
It's can they bring that character
Yeah.
to life,
Yeah.
the way I need the character to come to
Yeah.
life, because it's the story.
No.
Is this your first project you're writing?
I wrote it's not a terrible short film. I wrote this like short film that I did with a group of people from this organization that we were like all worked at,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it just didn't take off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're enjoying the writing process of it all
Yeah.
and stuff? Do you like
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
it started off horribly
Really?
because I was like, there's so much to do,
Yeah.
and I have no idea where to start,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I go back to the point of how you do anything is how you do everything, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just take my time. There's
Yeah.
no pressure.
Yeah.
I'll just learn the steps I need to learn, and I'll just write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my mentors was like, just write.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
ironically,
Mhm.
when I was filming away in Halo,
Yeah.
anytime I wasn't filming, I was writing.
Yeah.
fair.
So I
Incredible.
was like, I'll just
Amazing.
write.
Yeah.
I'll commit to a
Yeah.
deadline and I'll write. And I think it's metaphorical and
Yeah.
synonymous with life. You just got to do.
Yeah.
Don't think too much. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just
Yeah.
get on with
yeah.
it,
No,
because
of
you'll look
course.
back a week, 2 weeks from now, and be like, oh, I've made so much progress.
Yeah.
Just take the risk, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Just go for
That
it.
leads me to my last question, which is a great segue actually. Like in 2024, how important is it for an actor to be like a multi-hyphenate, like to be able to direct, to write, to produce, kind of thing? How important?
Vital, because we had COVID, so that really impacted our industry.
Mm.
And then we had writer strikes,
Ah,
so that
yeah.
really impacted our industry.
Yeah.
And then we had actor strikes,
Ah.
so that really impacted our industry. And absolutely, because when I say impacted, there's less work available compared to what it may used to be like 4 or 5 years ago. So if you've got a story to tell, write it.
Yeah.
And then eventually over time, you'll come into contact with the people who help you bring that reality to
Yeah.
life. And it's not just writing, it could be directing, could be taking pictures, could be anything.
No, fair.
Could be anything.
I've got one last
Yeah,
last
go
question,
for it.
and obviously Mo's got a few questions that we
Quick
normally
fire.
get quick fire questions.
Okay.
But my last question is obviously as a writer and everything, it'll be a complete disservice from us not to bring up the myth, the
Yeah.
International Muslim Film Festival. What does something like that sort of project do for an actor like yourself?
So it's nice that now we've met the MIF team,
Mhm.
we know what they can do, the platform that they've
Yeah.
created. So essentially now that tells me there's an avenue for me. There's a door.
Yeah.
There's a very clear path. And I think for a lot of people, and I'm speaking from experience here, but for a lot of people, they may not do things, or they may not take those first steps because they can't see that clear path.
Yeah.
But when one can see from A to Z,
Yeah.
then they're like, okay,
It
if I
makes
do
it
this
easier.
today and I do that tomorrow, by the end of next year, I'll be able to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it's created this really great platform.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And
Shout
the
out to
standard of
Sergeant,
work
man.
is really great
Yeah.
as well
Yeah.
that they've promoted.
So before we get into the quick fire, I just have one thing as well.
Yeah.
Is there any like dream people that you want to kind of collab with, whether it's a director, actor,
Dream
or
people.
both?
Ooh.
Dream act, like a dream scenario where you wanna,
Yeah, I think I'd absolutely love to work with someone like Tom Cruise
nice.
because I'm a bit obsessive with like prep.
He's Mr. Blockbuster.
He is like the man,
Yeah.
even though he's only this tall, but like the guy.
Yeah.
But I think there's too many people out there for me to pinpoint one or two. But I think Tom Cruise is one.
That's a good one.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I say that because two of my favorite films are the films he's made.
Which ones?
ones?
So Interstellar is my favorite
Of
film of
course.
all time,
Go on.
Cool.
and Inception.
Nice.
Also.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
think
are the choices?
there are these are artists that can like transcend.
Yeah.
There's like elite artists, and then there's like this category of a
Yeah.
few people who just
Yeah.
like do magic.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Yeah.
He's definitely in there, and he's a really longevity. He's evergreen in regards to like his age is never a factor. Every time he's on the screen, you never look at him thinking,
You
okay.
Tom Cruise, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nolan
Yeah.
for a second.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Tom
so-
Cruise,
yeah.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Nolan.
Yeah, that's
God,
what
is it that bad?
No, but even Nolan, like even the way he talks, it's
Yeah.
artistic because they
Yeah.
care about the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is care about the art, and a
Mm.
lot of people who aren't having careers or maybe were going to at points because their focus might be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You got to focus on the thing being good as opposed to trying to make it popular
Yeah.
or trying to make it make money.
Yeah.
And when it's good, people will do that for
Organically.
Yeah.
Or,
you.
yeah.
It'll just happen. Yeah. It's like what you guys are doing here. Just, you're doing the thing.
Oh, I love that. Man.
Yeah.
Great work. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
And it will just
Appreciate
keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, and you'll come back in like 5 years and say,
Yeah.
do you remember when we had that conversation?
100%.
yes.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna
Manifest
we're gonna
it,
ask.
bro.
We're gonna ask to come. We're gonna
I
ask to come back.
promise you,
Yeah.
because
Big project, we're
what
gonna ask
I'm
to come
doing
back.
today in my life,
Yeah.
5 years ago, I genuinely at one point thought was impossible, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do that,
Yeah.
and it feels normal.
Yeah.
So it's all very possible.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Aim very high, and even if you don't reach those heights, you'll reach high.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing that you said that. Like, it's actually really that sort of
It's
gives
inspiring,
me,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you.
I feel like Kimiko, man.
No, no, thank you, I really appreciate that, man. So we do have some quick fire questions to
Okay.
give all our guests.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
ready.
don't have to.
Do I need to warm up or anything?
Yeah, you're good. But
Okay, alright.
we call it quick fire. But it doesn't have to be as quick as you think.
I'm
but, you
not
know.
gonna lie. We're gonna criticize. I'm just saying.
He's gonna criticize.
Go
for it.
I'm gonna
I'm
criticize.
just asking.
I'm
No,
gonna-
Depending on who you ask,
I'm
gonna
used to it, man.
criticise.
I'm used to it.
Okay.
That's my job, to be criticized all the time.
industry. Okay, question number 1. What is your guilty pleasure movie?
Transformers, first one.
Yuck.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I'm getting ready.
The
great
first one is
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yes. That's
Gives
the
me
one.
that like,
That's-
oh my god, film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First blockbuster video I got, or DVD back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I remember Blockbusters, guys.
Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite movie?
Interstellar.
All time, yeah?
Absolutely.
Nice.
That film transcends everything. I understood what the meaning of having a purpose.
What
Yeah.
a score that film has as well.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
incredible score.
Yeah, you can't. Hans Zimmer. There is Hans Zimmer and there's everybody else. So
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, John Williams.
No,
may have something to say
no.
about
I
that.
wish you. I wish.
No, I refuse.
Randy Newman, come
I
on.
refuse. Come on, man.
All right. Next. This is the quickest fire of. This is good.
No, we're
Thank
gonna
you.
slow it down. Don't worry.
Who is the best actor alive? Actress, actor, however you want to see it. At the
Oh,
moment,
wow.
alive.
That's a hard.
It's a tough
Hard.
one,
You
yeah.
can throw yourself in if you want.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one day,
Yeah.
maybe.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to aim high. I believe I'll be in that contention. Maybe one day.
Inshallah, Yeah.
Inshallah. But, oh, that's tough. Have I seen a performance where I've just gone, oh my God?
Mm.
I feel I think, I'm going to be honest. What I saw Rami Malek do in Mr. Robot, there were some
Fair.
seasons where
Yes.
I started to feel unwell.
Serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But best actor around.
Didn't he win an Oscar?
Tough.
as
He won
well?
an Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Freddie
is
Mercury.
tough. That is so
Yeah.
tough.
There's a lot.
There's too-
There's a lot.
Who's performed so well?
So you got like
Leo's great.
yeah. You can
So
say
much,
Leo.
Leo's really. I think De Niro is really brilliant as well.
Yeah.
You might have to come back to me on that.
No, that's cool. That's
I'm
cool.
I'm just
Even
gone-
those answers are good, but
I've
yeah.
gone blank. But performances I thought incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Okay, next one. You don't have to kind of like crap on it or anything, but what is a film you wish was deleted from existence? Like you wish like you got your 2 hours back or something like that.
Oh man. Do you know I've already erased them from my memory? I swear.
Yeah.
I swear.
That's
Like
a great answer.
if I've seen a film and I thought that was that bad,
Yeah.
I'm just like that
It's
never
gone.
happened.
Yeah.
Just move on.
You've Men in Black yourself.
No, that's a professional way of answering.
I like it. It's
I
good.
like
Great
that.
answer.
It's good.
Great answer.
But even still, I'm sure there'll be great people who have made a living working on X and X
100%.
projects. so,
Yeah. All right, last one. What is the last great thing you saw? Can either be film or
The
TV?
last great thing,
Yeah. Something you're like, oh, you guys have to watch this.
Yeah, it stays with you, yeah.
I think
Like we said, there is a lot of content out there.
There's amazing
yeah.
stuff out
There is, yeah.
Oppenheimer.
Fairs.
I say that because I was filming in Malta at the time. Was it Malta or Hungary? No, I was filming in Hungary. Yeah, you can tell I get confused. I was filming in Hungary and I'd finished filming and I was really proud of what I'd done. It was like the last day
Yeah.
that I had there. So I went to the cinema,
Yeah.
watched Oppenheimer in the IMAX, and I got that vibe, that energy, that feeling of like, wow.
Wow.
Like just wow.
Even though you was just doing all of that, went through the whole
Yeah.
process and understand, and you still had that sort
Still
of
had that
wow.
feeling.
Yeah.
And I think I attribute to what great art is based on how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
100%.
If I can watch something and I can just like be bawling in tears,
Yeah.
or I can be so moved, or so inspired, or so
Yeah.
emotionally lifted, or so changed,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I guess obviously watching a movie as an actor, and the movie sort of transcends your sort of your medium, your job, to it being such a spectacle. You sort of disassociate yourself from being an actor
Yeah.
and looking at it thinking that is amazing. That just, for me, I think that would be saying that's a great achievement
That's
as an
really
actor.
good
That's
point. If you can watch and you can forget that you're
yeah.
watching, because sometimes
Yeah.
we get in that analytical brain of,
Yeah.
they're doing this,
Yeah,
they're doing
yeah,
this shot, or that's like a different take to what they were using here, and
Yeah.
like sometimes that can happen.
Yeah.
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 No,
The standard of work is generally good.
No,
I'd like to think. Yeah.
Oppenheimer's great.
oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oppenheimer's great.
June is better. I'm joking. I'm
Stop
joking.
it.
Look, it's
Oppenheimer.
another- it's
You
You
another-
know,
year,
the
different
first
year.
film I saw out after drama school
Yeah.
was Dune.
The older one.
No, the 2021 one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, I'm not that old.
One second. Wait, hold on. Okay, cool, nice. You love that movie.
I enjoyed it. I think
Yeah.
obviously I think there are elements that can change with
Yeah.
like the casting and bringing in actors. No, I mean bringing in actors who
Perfectly
are more
done.
Middle Eastern origin.
Okay,
but I
okay,
still
okay.
think that the actors who played the roles
Mhm.
did a fantastic job.
Okay.
That would be the only criticism.
Because
But
we were
that
just about to
film-
have an argument there. I was just saying.
No. That film was very unique.
I hear you.
And I'm
yeah.
like, a lot of people at the time didn't think Dune was like this thing. I'm like,
I loved
guys,
it.
this is one of the best films I've ever
Him.
seen.
It
You
took
need
off.
to go and watch it.
It
We
took-
argued him.
I took my family by force.
There you
I
go.
paid for them to go watch
There
it.
you
at
go.
IMAX.
Do you know what it is? It took off for me afterwards. I look at June 1 in a better light now after June 2 is finished, and I can see the whole story
Yeah.
Yeah.
as it is like that.
Yeah.
But at that time after June 1, I was kind of like, okay, guys, I can see it's good, but it's not like I don't love it as much as you guys do. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
That's
I
what
hear
it
you.
was for me. Yeah.
He
But now seeing the
left
whole
a voice,
story.
He left a voice note for us. He said, "Okay, I get it."
Yeah,
To
after the
a
second
point-
one, yeah.
To a point, yeah, that he left a
Wow.
cryptic message and I didn't get it. We had an argument because I should have got what he meant.
Okay.
Yeah, after the second one, I was like, all right, fair enough. Oh, man.
The thing is, though, I've seen films, and I won't say what, but I've seen films where they may have been lifted up to this incredible status, and I
Mhm.
just haven't felt it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And I've been honest.
Yeah.
I'm genuine. I like
No,
to
of
be
course.
honest.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I get it when people might not understand the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, with that I could see like the director had a vision. After the second one I
Yeah.
could see, now I get it. Do you know what I
the
mean?
thing with that 2021 Dune film, I
Yeah.
think it connected with me on a personal level.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Because it was like, after drama school, and I'm trying to figure my footing,
Yeah.
placing in the industry, and I'm like, I got to let go.
Yeah.
I have to just like go with the flow of life. And then I applied that in my real life. And
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
Takes off.
Little Ghaib.
All right, before we wrap it up, I know you have a project that you're working on right now, and you've put NDAs and whatnot. You can't
Yeah.
spoil anything. But is there anything you want to plug?
So I think at the end of this year, there will be a new series that's coming out on Paramount, which I have a recurring role in.
Yeah.
So multiple episodes. So
Nice.
fingers
Good
crossed.
stuff.
Yes.
Fingers crossed they don't cut me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't cut me now. And there's a really exciting, major Netflix project that I've been a part of.
Amazing.
We've got the wrap party in a week,
Nice.
so that's very
Enjoy.
cool. And that's been like a full circle moment for me, like amazing. That's like been my Netflix profile icon since I introduced profile icons.
Cool.
So
Okay.
that's like magic. And then I'm writing, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've written my pilot, so we're doing a read through. And then there's a thing that we're filming very on and off.
Yeah.
But when I can say it'll be quite awesome to.
That's
Sure.
amazing.
Incredible.
You know,
Inshallah.
I'm gonna use
Inshallah.
this opportunity to say it on camera, because if I say it off camera, it doesn't count.
Okay.
We want you back when it comes
Oh
to
man, I would be honoured.
We would
Thank
love
you.
to.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would
Thank
love to have
you.
you back.
That's
Yeah.
very kind.
No, honestly, it's been amazing having
Thank
you.
you.
Honestly,
Yes. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Amro.
much.
We appreciate it so much for you being here.
Pleasure.
It's
Pleasure.
great meeting you, Amir, being here as well. Like, this is our first proper interview with the actor. So, like, thank you
I'm
so much
so
for
honoured,
doing
guys.
this.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Thank
and you guys are only going up from here.
No, I
honestly,
appreciate
it.
Same
so
to you. Yeah, 100%.
Smashing through that ceiling. That's it.
Guys, look out for everything that Amro Mahmoud is doing. Thank you, Amro.
Thank you.
Guys, social down in the description below. Go check it out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the videos are coming out. And let us know in the comments how we did our first interview and stuff like that. And let us know what you think of Amro too, you know. And we'll see him again soon. You'll see us again soon. Peace.
Peace.